Well, here we are. We're, what is it, January 13th. I'm just getting around to putting the aftercoolers back together out in my shop. It's about 30 degrees or so out here. It's pretty cold. And I just got done putting this aftercooler together. And if you notice, I put some plastic bags over the intake and the output hose of both the water and the air. Just because sitting out here in the garage over the next couple of months, I don't want any dirt or maybe little rodents to get in there. So, number 2, port side aftercooler. So, what I did, or what I'm doing, we're going to grease the inside of this, of the bottom and the top with some alkyl metal lube. And I use this little chip brush, but I caution you to watch out for the actual bristles coming off. I don't really, you got to keep an eye out for them, because I don't know if they would really interfere, but if you get a couple in there, I'm imagining something could get by them, maybe a little water or so. So we grease the top and the bottom. I'm going to stand this up, and let me do that right now. All right, top greased up, bottom's greased up. Now I'm going to stand this up. I'm going to put some grease on the bundle, top and bottom, and then we'll slide that in. So nice and greased up, top and bottom. I just want to point out that there's a little mark right there, a little triangle. When you put this in, you line that up with this notch in the housing. Now there's one top and bottom, so I don't think it really matters. This side, I can tell just from the green of it, was the bottom. So I'll probably flip it over, but if you notice, the bundle is thin that way and full width that way. So it goes along with that mark up top, that when you put this in, you want this the wide way across the housing, because if you put it in the housing 90 degrees out, the air from the turbo has a nice big spot to go around on either side. It's not forced to go through the bundle. All right, so I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to stand it up over there and slide it right down. I can't do it one-handed, and I don't want to mess up the bundle, so let's get back to that in a second. All right, so that popped right through. Slid down nice and easy. And if you notice, I have the housing sitting on a couple of 2x4s with that piece of flooring down low. And I have this piece of plastic here. It's actually wedge shaped, but it catches the bundle as it slides down. It doesn't let it go all the way through. It might have to go a little lower, but you'll see that once I get the O-ring on here, I'm going to put the O-ring up top. I'll lube that. I'll put the top on, and I will also put a little lube on the bolts. They were dry when they came out, and that was tough. I was really glad it didn't get gold up the threads or anything. So we'll get back to that in a second. All right, so we got the O-ring on. It's nice and greased up, and I got the top ready to go too. Now it's also greased, and so is the flange, the mating surface. So that's all ready to roll. We're going to put that on. I got the bolts ready. We're going to do the top first, and then we'll tip this thing over and do the bottom. So I'll get right back to you on that. I'm going to actually pull that wedge out just to make sure that the top, oh, it went down a little bit. I want to make sure it's down enough so the top doesn't interfere. All right. Okay, continuing on. Got the bottom O-ring on. It's all nice and lubed up. And the bottom of the bottom cap is also greased up. Flange also, and again, a little bit on the bolts. So we're ready to put this back up, put the bottom on. Now, when I took this apart, I did mark this. I put two black lines there, and 2 black lines on there. Not that it makes any difference between the port and starboard, they're all the same. It's just for keeping it when I go to put it back together. Also, one more time, when you put the bundle in, notice the notch, the little triangle lines up with the notch right there on the housing. You can tell if you look at the bundle, you see how there's more tubes going up and down right here. And if you had it 90 degrees, you'd see there's a nice big opening on the inside where air from the turbo would be able to bypass that bundle very easily. You know, I'm sure some would go, but not a lot. So we're gonna put the bottom on and seal it up. I don't have any torque specs for the bolts, so I just put them on what I know from doing this for a long time. And then I'm gonna cap off the intake and the output of both the air and the water, so it's not sitting in open for bugs, rodents, dust, dirt, whatever. And we'll put it together in the late spring, and that's another story. Bye. Well, there it is, all set. You see I got the intake, outputs, air and water. It's just sealed off. I just took my gloves and did the water. Nice and easy. I did tape up the air side of it. I put in new zincs, and we're ready to go. I don't even think I need to paint it. Looks pretty good. All right. See you in the springtime.